think we are live now. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Typical Skeptic podcast. I have one of my favorite guests with me today. I have with me Mary Beaver, Mary Margaret and Beaver, and she's also a Donna of Soul, and her website is adonnaofsoul.us. I have her bio right here. Today we're going to be getting into her Deprogramming from MK Ultra series. She's put out 4 workbooks on deprogramming from MK Ultra. So those of you guys that have been exposed to Black Ops programs, you're going to really want to pay attention to this, and you're really going to probably want to get these books. I think they're really going to help people. Mary Beaver is a secret space program experiencer, researcher, and deprogrammer who has dedicated her life to helping others recover from trauma-based mind control systems with a deep knowledge of ancient languages, including Phoenician, a background that includes military-level clearance. Mary brings a unique perspective on both the metaphysical and psychological aspects of the MK Ultra framework. Through her platform, adonnaofsoul.us, she shares techniques for reclaiming sovereignty, accessing higher memory, and healing from programs designed to suppress human potential. In this show, myself and Mary will explore the hidden dimensions of MK Ultra deprogramming, the connections between ancient civilizations and modern SSP operations, and the process of recovering suppressed memories. Mary also discusses her experiences speaking of ancient Phoenician, her insights into multidimensional warfare, and how humanity can begin breaking free from generational trauma and manipulation. And with all that said, I'd like to give her a big warm welcome back to the show. Mary, thanks so much for coming back on. How are you?
Thanks for having me. I'm great.
Yeah.
Even with the world burning down around us, I'm doing well.
Yeah, it really does seem to be burning down, right? It seems like there's a trauma and turmoil everywhere,
Yeah, I think there was, so I do a lot of self-evaluations and stuff all over the world. I think the stage that we're in is a cleansing stage, and it doesn't always resonate with people, and because you really can't. Everybody's got different personalities, and we're not going to hit everybody's, positive personalities. Some people don't want change. Some want change only with restrictions, and other people are just ready for the new world, right?
Yeah, I agree. But I mean, I think your books are perfect for right now. So tell the audience a little bit about what you did. You came out with 4 workbooks, I guess they are, on MK Ultra deprogramming.
Yeah, so it's time to get this stuff out of my head and on paper, and I didn't know how to approach it safely because, again, I've had 2 brain aneurysms, and I'm not trying to scare anybody, but it was just thrown at me. So when I try to give it to you guys, I try to do it in a way it's not going to cause any more trauma, right? Because my DNA is a little bit higher, so I can sustain some of this damage. And so I was like, how do I put these books so that people aren't going to get hurt in the process of downloading what's already in your DNA or in your higher consciousness or whatever? So I formulated it to where if you're doing too much at once, you just end up getting tired and fall asleep. So that way your body can download what you've read, and then you'll just sleep and go through what you need to with the information that applies to you. It's not going to apply to everybody in each paragraph. You know what I mean? So I wrote it I wrote them all like workbooks. Let me show you one of them. This is the first one, MK Ultra Programming, Brainwashing, Mind Control Techniques of the Occupation. So there's the first book, workbook. And it just kind of, and I try to choose photos that I create myself through AI, and so it resonates. And the information, again, that I put in here, it's like bullet points, but this one talks more about historical, ancient times into normal times, the evolution of the mind control process, and then how to kind of get yourself out of it or help you cope with the stuff that you have experienced, the trauma, the code words, and how to find your own deprogramming codes instead of the trigger codes, right? Because we all know we get triggered. I still trigger people, and there's been a few people who came out on podcasts and were like spitting mad because I would talk about things and it triggered their psyop part of their personalities. So I mean, it's a real thing, and it's here, and again, I did it in bullet points. I'm not going to give you guys a full description of my history because it's your history you've got to look into. Do you see kind of how it's written?
Yeah, I see. Yeah, I
So,
see.
yeah, so it's written in bullet point, and you're going to fill in the gaps for yourself, right? This isn't my story. This is the program, and it's the deprogramming, and you're going to find your story. And because everybody's story is important, everybody needs to have their story out there, not just the few of us, right? So, but how do you do that? And everyone's like, well, how do I start? Well, you got to start deprogramming. I don't know what that looks like for you. Not everybody's going to get a phone call from a deep space guy that says, hey, we got to deprogram you.
Yeah.
So we have to kind of help each other in this whole food chain of the MK Ultra programming. So
Um,
this, go ahead.
Reefer 17 wanted to ask you about this. I don't know if this is off the subject, but for some reason he says, can you ask Mary about Executive Order 13818 and 13848? I don't know what that he means by that. Did you get that, or did it cut out? Oh.
Okay. Um,
You're cutting out big time. I don't know what.
is he referring to the executive orders?
I'm not sure. I can
Yeah, I
even look.
noticed. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear now. I can, but I couldn't hear you before.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay. I can go out and come back in. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay, do
Let
you
me.
need me to go out and come back in?
Yeah, maybe that'll work. Hold on, let me look it up. Reefer. Let's see what you're referring to. Okay. Executive Order 13818 is the blocking of party of persons involved in serious human rights abuse or corruption. And the Executive Order 13848 is the imposing certain sanctions of evident foreign interference in the U.S. election. It says that order was designed to interject. Yeah. Let's see here. Oh, here she comes. Hold on. Okay. Okay. I just asked ChatGPT what they were, just to see, but like I guess. Oh, she's. All right. Yeah. Can you hear me
How
now?
about now?
Good. We're good now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess 13818 is blocking the property of persons involved in serious human rights abuse or corruption. And then 13848 is imposing certain sanctions in the event of foreign interference in the United States election.
Right.
So,
So, well, again, we're going to harvest. Uh, so if it's blocking human rights, is that what it said?
yeah.
Okay. Well, so that could be the occupation. You have to remember they're the humans. We're humanoids on Earth. We're part of the Noid gene. The occupation is a human-like species from a galaxy 21 billion light years away or something, and they've been occupying over us for a while now. So, and that's where they're coming in, trying to take your guys' land through the court system, right? So I can only presume. I
Yeah.
haven't taken a look at it, but I mean, I can take a look at it and maybe get back to you on it in a way. And then the election fraud. We're about to have an election here in California. So, this is so funny. So Trump brought in federal officials to watch the California election, and then Gavin No Nuts turned around and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna have state officials watching your federal." I'm like,
Oh
just send the
God, it's
military
just like
in, and then we don't have a problem, right? Because if anybody's doing any kind of voter fraud in the military standing there, you're going to be tribunaled. So there we go. End of that whole spatter. So
yeah.
it is we know the fraud's out there. It's how we adjust to it. You know what I mean? And speaking of, I actually just got an email today because I put one of my past cases in from like 3 or 4 years ago into federal court, and super excited about it. I got an email. I did ask for it to be confidential, so just so anybody knows, you're not going to find my stuff public, because that case has to do with my children as well, being victims of the circumstances. So, and I do believe it's going to be very positive, but everything has to. The first part has to come in the mail, so I should maybe get that Friday, and I feel really positive about it. I had a tarot reading, and everything was like, you've worked so hard, and this is you're gonna get your remedy, and if this works, then I will have learned how we can all get remedy in court. But the biggest thing is you guys got to stop fighting the court. You have to find a way to use the court to get remedy, because all these other groups out there, and again, I was in them, so I know. Then there's nobody that's going to say you don't know, you don't know. No, I know, because I was in those groups and I literally became a victim of some of those groups. So to where my children got affected by the feds. So I know. I just know when to stop before I go to prison. So
That's a good. Yeah, and you also have a like a very decorated military background too. You know what I mean? Like you've
right.
been involved in the military. You have high level clearance. It's probably still. Do you still have high level clearance? I would guess so,
Yeah,
right?
because I was ghosted. So pretty much what happened, I was considered missing in action for the last 16 years. So I was never discharged. I was never, retired or anything. So I have an unsettled case with the military. That's going through a whole process right now. I did get my military background because I put it in my book of life, and now I have everything. I actually have more than I thought. And I was like, whoa, I did that. And then it also does talk about the celestial stuff that I did. So that was neat. Um, and I thought I had just a cosmic majestic as my highest clearance, but it turns out I had a majestic with an omni cosmic clearance. So I had the all in all clearance. I was like, who gets
Wow.
that, right?
Is that like the biggest clearance you can get? Like, is that like
On planet
or
Earth,
something?
that's the one that's above Majestic. Yeah. So when you hear David, what's his name, talking about above Majestic, it's Omni. So, and I had an Omni. So it'll be interesting to see what I had to do in order to have that clearance. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't say, but it says I did have the Omni clearance.
Wow, wow, that's insane. Yeah. So back to the MK Ultra workbook and stuff. Now you designed it as a workbook for like people to work through as they're deprogramming from their whatever they've gone through. Is that right? And
Correct.
each workbook addresses different things. Like, yeah, like, did you want to talk about that a little bit?
I do. So, and here's why I want to talk about it, because like everybody else around the planet, not just here in America, we're the worst affected, I think. London could be, but who knows? Um, the thing is people are trying to chase the forbidden knowledge, and I have access to the forbidden knowledge. And when I would read it, only like a small amount would resonate with me, right? So here's the thing, the forbidden knowledge currently, whether it's the forbidden or the secret knowledge, that is meant for the 3D. So we can't sit here and keep thinking, oh, I want access to that. That's not going to serve our higher purpose anymore. So if you really think about it, the people who are being deprogrammed right now are bringing in the next level of the 4D, the 5D, the 6D, whatever D we're going into. We have to dimensionally raise our frequency, so therefore the old stuff is not going to serve us. And that's why I would say secret societies like to try to track down the people like me or other people, and they capture us, torture us, and try to get us to give them the information. Maybe in this sequence, this is why I had to be born a soldier with all these incredible fighting skills, because back in the day, priests and priestesses, we weren't fighters, right? We weren't assassin nuns running around. So we had to be fighters today in order to protect the knowledge that was going to be downloaded at the Ascension. And we're at the Ascension. So I just want to make sure the information I put out, and again, the Illuminati and none of these guys have this information. So you guys can get it first, deprogram yourselves, and be part of whatever is coming. Or don't. It doesn't matter. It's your choice. Not everybody's ready, but we are all ready for the new world, right? So at what level are we all going to be during this time? So I did the 9 planetary books because everybody's just kind of stuck on Earth, like, oh, the aliens coming here. Well, what about the ones that have already been here and they need to go home? You know what I mean? So why aren't we talking about the history of the whole galaxy? Why aren't we talking about the space wars and all that stuff? So I put those books out too. So you'll see 9 of those. It's each planet that you guys consciously know of. There are more planets, but I don't want to bring those out because I don't know what that would trigger. so, um, so yeah, I have like I said, I have the mind control techniques of the occupation, which is volume 1. It gives you the history, some missing content, triggers, like how to get over your triggers, how to create your triggers into what do you call it? What is the word? Deprogramming words instead of your trigger words. You got to come to peace with your reality, because that's what this is, right? We all can agree this is a simulation, but the thing is you're physically here. You're not going to grow wings and just pop out of your skin like a butterfly. That's a satanic thing for them wanting you to commit suicide and ritualistically. So we got to get past some levels, and I want to help people to do it safely. And I was able to finally get this stuff out of my mind so that you could find the history of the planetary wars that brought everybody here, why everybody's got to go home. The percentage of people that are staying here is only like 170 million. It's only like 25% of the world's population today. The rest about 65 to 75, that's all the people that have to go home. But we're all integrated, and we've all forgotten who we are. So, well, I'll show you this. I did get not that one, these one. So I did do my Book of Life one. So this is now available also on my webpage. It's really the highest estate packet you can do. It returns everything that belongs to you, and you don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. We're all going through it, right? Nobody's done this in the one sense until now, and I think the last time this happened was during the Christ saga with Mary and Jesus and all those guys. But then there was internal deception, right? Because we didn't ascend. No, everybody even got more trapped. So, but again, the 3D does no longer serve your higher purpose. If you keep falling back into it, you're just going to keep learning lessons, and they're going to get harder and harder. So stay open-minded, and we can all move forward. I'm moving forward. I hope you guys decide to come with me, and that'd be awesome. So primary objectives, MK Ultra Saga Volume 2, triggers and alters. This is also a good one, again by volumes. You should read it, and in good standing. Again, make sure you're in a good place. I wouldn't do a group session because you might actually trigger yourself. So, but again, hopefully you just fall asleep, don't have any brain aneurysms. This volume 3 was a little hard for me to write because it was very personal. It's the Delta and the Alpha program, Ancient Military Minds Over the Ages, volume 3. The cover kind of touched me because it shows the child turning into the soldier, and it also shows the ascension of how we were age digressed. And I did in the back put my military experience, so in a short brief biography. So index, I put my branch, my serial number. If any of you want to go check, if you're brave enough, you know, it's there. So and I did talk to another military advocate recently, and he is very familiar with what kind of soldier I was, because he said that he wanted me to talk to a wife of a special forces operative like myself, who what they call dimensional walkers. So I was in that category, meaning that whole Omega clearance could have been me opening those portals and going into different dimensions. So it's in that book. It's pretty fascinating if you guys want to read it. And I have had a few people accuse me of stolen valor, which is fine. It's hard when you can't expose your records, you know. But they're coming out now, and I'm pretty excited about it. The fourth volume is MK Bloodlining, so it tells you how they ritualistically triggered and groomed the families, went through the family trees. It's ancient rituals opening the door to the New World Order. So we were all bred for this moment, but it backfired on them. And it talks about it. The fun part, and I'm going to give you guys sigils. I don't know if you remember, Rob, me talking about when these Templars came into my life in the beginning of the process of the master exit. There was an envelope at the federal office, and it had all these esoteric symbols on it, right? Do you remember me telling you about that?
Yeah, I think believe so. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to show you what some of these symbols look like. I did put them in the book. Am I getting it? Yeah. So this is kind of what they look like, and
Yeah.
they all mean something. So I put a lot of these in here for your guys to help you deprogram. So, they're alternate glyphs. They have different functions. When you read them, some of them you'll resonate with, some don't apply to you. I was trying to cover as many personality alterations as I could. And then there's one that's fun. If you guys ever want to know what Trump is saying, I put those in here too. Hold on.
Oh, that's cool. Would you give us an example? Like, that'd be cool.
Yeah, so hold on, because I'm trying to hold this and the book at the same time. So it's right there.
I'm
There's
sorry.
hand symbols, gestures, what they mean, um, on both sides. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. You guys will love it. Don't get upset if you fall asleep. That's for your protection, so you can deprogram and not have serious consequences, because a lot of people do die deprogramming. So and unless you're like the Shaolin monastery and you're gonna drink the golden shower to keep yourself alive during those processes, then just try to stay safe. So,
What
but no,
I
it's
wanted to
gonna be
ask you,
fun.
Mary,
Yeah.
where do people get these? Like, do they go to your website, or do they go to Amazon, or where's the best place to get them?
Due to the content and nature of it, Amazon probably will not allow me to do that as of right now. So they are on my website. I do have oh, sorry, I hit my phone. I do have a disclosure on here that protects my intellectual property, all my writings. Hopefully you guys read the back. Um, and I there's a law, a universal law in here. I don't want to say it over here because again, I don't want to taking your stuff down. But there's a universal law in here that will resonate with you. And it's something we all needed. But again, your stuff will get taken down if I say it. But yeah, it's on my webpage.
Well, I
It's
have an idea.
yeah.
Yeah, sorry. I could just say, after you advertise the books and stuff, if you want to do a little bit on Rumble, we can go on Rumble and we can get into like some deeper stuff. But I wanted you to have something on YouTube to advertise the books and stuff. Like, this part will stay on YouTube, but then we can do a part of it on Rumble. I don't know. It's just an idea. It's up
Yeah,
to
we
you.
can do that if you want. It's up to you guys. You're not gonna find this information online yet, because I can, again, because most of it's locked in my head. And when you start ascending upward and you free yourself from the matrix, you redo your matrix coding, the doors open. There's a lot of processes out there. Some of those processes are still restrictive. I've done a lot of them, and I've gotten to certain points, and then I kept hitting brick walls, right? And the master exit that I have now, it's like nonstop open doors. Like going through the movies with the hallway, whether it's the hotel or the science lab, and there's all these doors. Well, all these doors open, and you go off to the side, see what's in there, see if any of that applies to you, and you get back on track. Go to the next door. All these doors that have been closed for us are now opening, and this is the time to open them. We just have to find the right exit that applies to us as individuals. But I only fight for freedom. I don't fight for wealth. I can't give you money. And don't use the book of life to get you money. It's not real. The money that we have today is not real. That's Lucifer's. It's always going to be the chasing game. You're a hamster on a wheel, and we just got to get off the wheel. Okay. The real
Yeah.
money is gold, silver. The currency is our intelligence, our energy, ourselves. We're the intelligence. We're the actual currency. That's why they use us, right? That's why they kill us and take our energetic adrenochrome. So
Yeah. Let's do this. Since we advertise the books now, I'm going to take
give it
this
to
part
that.
out. We'll get into some more deeper stuff on Rumble. So, guys, follow us. Since we have an audience now, follow us over on Rumble. We're going
Oh,
to be
okay.
over on
Hold
Rumble.
on. Can I
Yeah.
go
I'll just
ahead
take
and
it off.